Hey everyone, welcome back to LoopIt Radio, where English learning meets real stories that inspire. I'm Sandra, and today's episode will take you on a journey of compassion, courage, and hope. We're exploring the incredible story behind I Saved 1,000 Animals from Dying, a powerful global mission that changed countless lives. From performing life-saving surgery on lions to relocating rhinos, vaccinating giraffes from helicopters, and rescuing animals from war zones. This story isn't just about saving wildlife, it's about saving our shared humanity. As you listen, you'll not only discover how these heroes made a difference, but you'll also learn real English vocabulary and expressions used in emotional storytelling and global conservation. So, grab your headphones, open your mind, and get ready, because Ryan Johnson and Nikkie James are about to take you deep into the language of compassion and action. Let's begin.
Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're jumping into something pretty big. The logistics, the sheer ingenuity behind saving 1,000 animals across the globe.
That's right. We've got this huge collection of documentation, basically field notes from the front lines of conservation.
And our mission here is to cut through all that data and give you the real strategic insights. Forget just numbers. We're looking at the how. How do you handle threats from, say, a tooth infection to a full-blown war zone?
Exactly. And the sources show it's not just about heart, though there's plenty of that. It's about high-tech solutions, complex planning, specialized skills pushed to the absolute limit.
We're talking everything from emergency surgery on big cats right through to mass adoptions, even building new sanctuaries funded in, well, really surprising ways.
It's a fascinating look at the sheer diversity of challenges and the incredibly creative solutions people are coming up with.
So, Lester, think of this as your inside look at the complexities, the tech, the coordination needed. It's quite the operation.
Absolutely. Well, let's maybe start in Africa. Some of the most dramatic, high-stakes stuff happens there. Precision is everything.
Okay, Africa. And we kick off with a real case study in urgency. A lion needing critical care.
Yeah, and you might think, oh, a fight or maybe a poacher snare. But this was different.
What was it then?
It was, believe it or not, a tooth infection, a really severe one. Dr. Alex and the team diagnosed it.
A tooth infection. Sounds almost mundane, but I guess for a lion in the wild.
It's anything but. That's the surprising thing. It becomes immediately life-threatening.
How so? What's the specific risk?
Well, the danger isn't just pain or, difficulty eating. It's that the infection, all that gunk, basically. If it's left untreated, it can actually travel through the bloodstream.
No way. Where does it go?
Straight to the heart valves. And that can be fatal. It's like the silent killer, completely unrelated to the usual threats like poaching.
Wow. So immediate surgery needed, right? In the field.
Exactly. A root canal, essentially. But imagine doing that on a sedated wild lion out in the open. The logistics are just intense.
Yeah, I mean, the sedation alone, keeping a huge animal under safely without hospital monitors.
Right, and maintaining sterility in a dusty environment. Plus, you're racing against the clock.
Because if the lion wakes up.
Well, yeah, that's a life-threatening situation for the whole team. So Dr. Alex had to work fast, get the specialized gear in drills, sealants, and make it work first time.
Incredible pressure.
Totally. But they pulled it off. Removed the infection, sealed the tooth. The lion was released, healthy, back to its territory, a success.
Amazing. One animal saved. But the scale ramps up quickly from there, doesn't it? Moving from surgery to relocation.
Yeah, let's talk rhinos, because here the problem was actually caused by, a conservation measure.
How does that happen?
It's these anti-poaching fences, vital, obviously, for keeping poachers out, but they had this unintended consequence. Weaker rhinos, the ones that would normally get chased off by the big dominant males in an open range, they suddenly had nowhere to run.
So they're fenced in together.
Exactly. Trapped in the same space, forced to compete, sometimes fighting to the death over things like water or food.
So the fences protecting them from humans actually led to them killing each other. That's complex.
It really is. So the solution wasn't taking down the fences. That's not feasible. It was relocation.
Moving the weaker ones out.
Yeah. Tranquilize them, transport them to a private designated territory, sort of a safe haven where they could grow stronger without being constantly bullied.
Okay, tranquilizing a rhino. That sounds like a mission in itself.
Oh, it is. They used a helicopter team for this. The pilot, Chandler, his job was spotting them from the air across huge areas.
Spotting and then darting from the helicopter.
Precisely. It's quicker, safer for the ground team, allows for accurate dart placement. Then the ground crew moves in once the rhino's sedated.
Makes sense. But you mentioned this wasn't just relocation. They added some tech.
Right. This is where it gets really smart. They fitted them with these advanced anti-poaching collars.
More than just GPS, right?
Way more. They track the rhino's speed, its gait, even its proximity to other wildlife nearby.
How does that help catch poachers?
It's about spotting anomalies. So if the collar registers the rhino suddenly bolting, running really fast in a straight line like it's panicked.
Okay.
And at the same time, the system sees there are no other animals around, no lions, no hyenas, nothing that would naturally scare it.
That flags it. Potential poaching attempt.
Exactly. It helps rangers filter out false alarms and react faster to real threats. It's using behavior analysis, essentially.
That's clever. Really clever. And then there was the microchip.
In the horn?
Another layer of security, but this was more about traceability after the fact.
How do you even do that? Drilling into the horn?
It's a careful veterinary procedure. Tiny hole drilled into the keratin like our fingernails, basically. Chip goes in, hole sealed with epoxy. It's tough.
And the point is, if the worst happens, if the rhino is poached, that chip links the horn back to that specific animal, that location. If law enforcement recovers that horn, maybe months later, halfway across the world,
they have evidence, traceable evidence.
Right. It helps prosecute traffickers, dismantle the networks, turns an anonymous product back into a piece of a crime.
So it's combining veterinary work with, like, forensic intelligence.
Pretty much. And amidst all this tech, you still get these human moments, like the team naming one of the rescued rhinos Hippo the Rhino.
Hippo the Rhino. I love it. Shows they care, right?
Definitely. It's not just data points. It's individual lives they're fighting for.
Okay, so we've seen surgery, relocation, high-tech tracking. What about large-scale health interventions? That brings us to giraffes, I think.
Yes, mass vaccination for giraffes. And the stakes here were incredibly high.
Why is that?
The sources mention specific diseases that, for giraffes, have a 100% fatality rate if they contract them. 100%.
Wow. So you can't just manage the population. You have to prevent infection.
Exactly. And vaccinating giraffes across their vast territory, you can't exactly round them up easily.
So back to the air, like with the rhinos.
Yep. High-powered air rifles fired from a helicopter using these massive darts loaded with vaccine.
That sounds incredibly difficult. Hitting a moving target from a moving helicopter with a dart.
It's unbelievably precise work. You've got wind, distance, the animal running, and the darts themselves are specialized. Big enough to work, but designed to fall out quickly.
And the giraffes obviously don't understand.
Not at all. The sources mention the team's frustration, watching them run away thinking, we're trying to save you.
Huh. Yeah, I can imagine. Despite the difficulty, did they manage a significant number?
They did. Vaccinated 70 giraffes in this operation. A huge contribution to that overall 1,000 animal goal.
That's impressive.
And there was a nice little moment, too. The team spotted Hippo the Rhino later, doing well in his new safe zone. Shows these efforts really do pay off, both for individuals and the wider population.
Okay, so that covers some incredible work in Africa. Now let's shift gears completely. From the savannah to human conflict zones, Section 2, right?
Yeah.
Global relocation.
Yeah, this is a stark reminder of how animal welfare gets caught up in human crises. We're talking about Ukraine.
A very different environment.
Totally. Years of war had devastated infrastructure, zoos, shelters. Lions that had been rescued were living in these makeshift places, still under threat from the ongoing conflict, shelling, instability.
Just surviving day to day.
Yeah.
And the plan was to get them out all the way back to Africa.
That was the mission. 3 lions needing transport over 7,000 miles. The logistics are just staggering.
7,000 miles. How do you even begin to arrange that for 3 huge predators from a war zone?
It required coordination on a scale you'd normally associate with, like military or diplomatic efforts, not just booking a flight.
What kind of plane?
A specialized cargo plane. They had to basically gut it, strip out all the seats, all the standard human stuff to fit these massive, custom-built, reinforced crates for the lions.
They joked about first-class tickets.
Yeah.
in the source material. I saw that.
Yeah, but the reality was far from luxurious. Those crates were bolted down. Temperature, ventilation, everything had to be specially managed for that long flight across different climates.
And who's keeping an eye on them? You can't just leave 3 lions in crates in a cargo hold for hours.
Absolutely not. There's a dedicated team on board, vets, animal handlers, logistics experts. They're monitoring sedation levels, checking vitals, ensuring safety. It's basically a flying ICU for apex predators.
A flying ICU. That paints a picture. All that effort, the destination had to be worth it.
Oh, it was. They flew them to the Lion Watch Animal Sanctuary in South Africa, run by Anthony Peniston.
And this place is equipped for them.
More than equipped. It offers over 14 acres of open, natural African habitat for just these lions. They weren't just moving to a safer cage, they were going home, in a sense, to roam on native land.
The moment they were released. Must have been something.
The sources describe it vividly. These lions, after everything, running out onto African soil, free from the sounds and dangers of war, just pure, unadulterated freedom.
Powerful stuff. It really shows conservation sometimes means intervening directly in human disasters.
Yeah, using global resources to provide not just immediate safety, but long-term recovery and, well, a proper life.
Okay, from international conflict zones, let's make another big jump. Back home, dealing with crises that are maybe quieter, but just as devastating in scale. Section 3, domestic welfare crises.
Right. Here, the threat isn't war or poaching. It's us. It's overflowing shelters, lack of resources, a crisis of numbers.
And the numbers are stark. The sources stated that in overcrowded U.S. shelters, a dog is euthanized every 5 minutes just to make space.
Every 5 minutes. It's relentless. That's the scale of the problem they were tackling.
So the goal here was immediate impact. Get 100 dogs adopted now.
Yeah, but not just by opening the doors. They were strategic. They identified the main reasons people hesitate to adopt.
Which are often financial, right? The upfront cost.
Yeah.
And then worrying about vet bills down the line.
Exactly. So they removed those barriers. First, they covered all adoption fees, made it free to take a dog home.
Okay, that helps.
But the bigger move, the really clever part, was committing to cover all future medical bills for those 100 dogs. For life.
All future medical bills. That's huge.
It is. Think about it. It takes away that massive financial uncertainty, especially for older dogs or those with known issues. Suddenly, families who wanted to help but were worried about cost, they could step up.
So it wasn't just about finding any home, but finding the right homes by removing that financial risk.
Precisely. And they made a point of focusing on the harder to place dogs too, not just the cute puppies everyone wants.
Like the example of Blue, the 10-year-old dog.
Yeah, older dogs often get overlooked. But Blue found a perfect match with people who wanted a calmer, lower energy companion. It suited their lifestyle. It shows successful adoption is about matching needs, not just moving numbers.
A really smart, targeted approach. Now, shifting from dogs to miniature horses and donkeys.
Yes. A different kind of domestic crisis. These weren't shelter animals. They were at auction.
And the threat was?
They were scheduled to be slaughtered for food right after the auction. Simple as that. Horrible.
So immediate intervention needed.
Absolutely. Cash on the table. The decision was made instantly. Buy them all. Every single one, prevent the slaughter, and then worry about finding homes.
That takes resources and quick decisions.
It does. And the adoption stories were apparently quite something. The sources mentioned one family came for one mini horse.
And left with 2. I saw that quote. Minis are like potato chips. You can't have enough.
Exactly. It captures that charm, doesn't it? They managed to find loving homes for all of them. And they also rescued 4 donkeys who were bonded, making sure they stayed together, which is so important for social animals like them.
So successful interventions, both large-scale with the dogs and targeted with the minis and donkeys. It highlights the financial side. But what about funding the sanctuaries themselves long-term? That leads us to Section 4, right? Innovative funding.
Yeah, this is where things get really interesting. Moving beyond bake sales and gala dinners. How do you create sustainable funding? We start with Maya's Animal Sanctuary.
And their model is, well, it's very 21st century.
Oh.
A 2047 Twitch stream.
Right, live streaming the sanctuary all day, every day. But it's not just watching animals, it's interactive.
How does that work for funding?
Viewers donate money directly through Twitch. And here's the genius part. Those donations trigger a physical event in the sanctuary.
Like what?
Like activating a feeder that gives a treat to one of the animals. Winnie the cow was the example.
So I donate $5 and I literally see Winnie get a snack because of me.
Exactly. Often with your username popping up on screen, it creates this immediate, tangible connection. You're not just giving to a cause, you're directly interacting and seeing the result.
That's psychologically brilliant. Instant gratification for the donor.
Totally. And these aren't huge donations usually. It's lots of small amounts continuously, day and night, that builds a reliable income stream for daily costs, food, vet care, and even big expansion projects.
It's like crowdsourcing sanctuary operations.
Yeah.
Amazing. And the animals are okay with being on camera 24/7.
Apparently, some quite enjoy it. The sources mention Momo, the marmoset, actually likes watching screens and videos. It's a weirdly perfect symbiosis.
Huh. A screen-loving marmoset funding his own care. What about the tech side? Keeping that stream running nonstop, the feeders working, must be complex.
It is. Requires reliable tech, backup systems, monitoring, staff work in shifts, but it leverages technology built for entertainment and gaming, repurposing it for animal welfare. It's more resilient than depending on one big annual fundraiser,
Definitely a sustainable model. Okay, from digital funding to very physical infrastructure. The story of Stompy the emu.
Ah, Stompy, a classic case of mistaken identity.
He thought he was a horse.
Genuinely seemed to believe it. Lived with the horses, acted like one. Which sounds cute, but it was actually really dangerous.
Why?
Emus are big birds, but horses are much bigger and heavier. The risk of Stompy getting accidentally stepped on, crushed. It was constant.
Right. So he needed his own place.
A safe, emu-specific enclosure, and this is where a big partnership came in with Lowe's.
A hardware store chain.
Yeah. They were already helping the community rebuild after some bad floods in Texas, floods that had also damaged Maya's sanctuary earlier.
So they extended that help to Stompy.
Exactly. It was part of Lowe's big initiative delivering 10 million square feet of community impact. It shows how corporate resources can be directed towards very specific conservation needs.
And sources mentioned the team actually building it. Hands-on.
Oh, yeah. Putting up the fence, planting trees. There was that funny detail about digging the holes for the plants.
The oblong shape.
Yeah. Like a hot dog, it just grounds it, Whether it's fancy collars or just digging a hole, it's all part of the work.
So Stompy got his new safe space. Was he lonely?
They thought of that. Built the enclosure big enough for two. And soon enough, Stompy got a new emu friend.
What was the friend's name?
Nolan's mom. Don't ask me why, but the point is, it solved the safety issue and the social need. Good infrastructure planning.
And building infrastructure ties back to the flood recovery, right? There was a significant donation mentioned.
Yes. Because the floods had caused major setbacks, a $50,000 donation was specifically given to push forward a planned project, a new wolf sanctuary.
So the overall effort isn't just about immediate rescues, it's also investing in future capacity.
Absolutely. Building resilience, enabling more conservation work down the line. It's strategic investment.
Okay, that covers funding and building. Let's move to the final section, Section 5. This seems to cover the sheer variety of care needed globally.
Exactly. This is where you see the huge range of species and medical challenges involved in hitting that 1,000 animal target. We start with marine life.
Sea lions.
2 cases highlighted. First, Rocky. A really sad one. He had a bullet lodged in his head. Required long-term, complex care, which was funded.
A reminder of direct human cruelty.
Unfortunately, yes. But then there was Gertrude. She'd been horribly entangled in a fishing net, but she recovered fully.
And her release.
The sources describe it as just this immediate, joyful sprint straight back into the ocean. A pure moment of success.
Fantastic. From the ocean to the rainforest, the Amazon.
Right. Working with Minga Lodge and Sanctuary there. And the scale is impressive.
How many animals?
Over 200 released back into the wild after rehabilitation. Just from this one place.
Wow. Any specific examples?
They mentioned releasing a silky anteater, which is apparently one of the rarest species in that area. Plus various tortoises, birds.
And the point is, without these sanctuaries,
they simply wouldn't survive.
Yeah.
These places provide that critical bridge, specialized food, medical care, a safe place to recover before going back to the wild. You need that infrastructure to maintain biodiversity.
Makes sense.
Okay.
Back to the U.S. now. Domestic wildlife rehab.
Yep. Funding went to Wildlife Critters Circle of Life, helping 47 injured or abandoned animals. Some amazing stories there, too.
Like Draco the wolf?
Yeah, a black wolf shot down in Louisiana, couldn't even stand initially, needed intensive therapy.
And the outcome?
Now running around happily. Just shows what dedicated rehab can achieve, even for large predators with severe injuries.
That's incredible. Any other examples from that group?
They also saved 20 foxes that were literally headed for the fur trade, intervened and gave them sanctuary instead.
A direct rescue from exploitation. What about birds?
Funding supported saving 70 native birds at a large sanctuary, including a screech owl that had been hit by a car.
Oh, dear. Was it okay?
It recovered, but there was some uncertainty about its vision in one eye.
Can an owl survive like that in the wild, with impaired vision?
It's a tough call for the vets, but the sources noted that yes, owls can often adapt and hunt effectively even with only one fully functioning eye, so release was still possible after careful assessment.
Good to know. Deer were mentioned too.
42 white-tailed deer, injured or orphaned, all treated, and now healthy enough to be out grazing freely.
And the turtles in New York. I loved that detail.
Yeah. 48 turtles saved. And one apparently was deemed healthy enough to return to his natural habitat.
The skate park.
The skate park.
Yeah.
A sign of the times, maybe? Wildlife adapting to our spaces.
Definitely. Okay, all these rescues are amazing. But the last part of this section really highlights the most specialized care, right? Almost like human medicine.
Absolutely. This is where you see interventions that require incredible knowledge and sometimes custom technology, like Body the kangaroo.
He lost his mother.
Yes, orphaned. And caring for a Joey like that requires simulating maternal care very closely.
How do they do that?
It involved specialized pouches to give that essential feeling of security and warmth they get from the mother. And crucially, special feeding nipples.
My special nipples.
To mimic the specific way a mother kangaroo delivers milk, the right flow, the right latch, it's vital for their development and getting the right nutrients. It's really intensive, specialized care.
Wow. And then the prosthetic beak for Marjorie the duck.
This one is just extraordinary. Marjorie was at a place called Waddle on Inn, lost her beak, most likely to a snapping turtle attack.
And without a beak, a duck can't.
Can't eat, can't preen, can't filter water properly. It's essentially a death sentence.
So what did they do?
Dr. Chester fitted her with a prosthetic beak, custom made.
A 3D printed beak, maybe?
Likely something like that, or custom molded. It had to replicate the complex shape and function needed for her to scoop, filter, and eat. A piece of bespoke medical technology.
That's just incredible. It really shows how far animal care has come.
It does. And supporting that level of care is expensive, which is why funding also went to 4 other organizations to help cover costs for another 212 animals needing similar high-level medical treatments and rehab.
So the overall effort was truly broad and deep.
Absolutely. From field surgery in Africa to prosthetics in the U.S. Just an amazing scope. Hashtag tag outro.
Okay, let's try and wrap our heads around all this.
Yay.
We've gone from emergency lion dentistry in the field
To flying lions out of a war zone on a stripped-down cargo plane.
to funding dog adoptions by covering lifelong vet bills
To a 204/7 Twitch stream funding a sanctuary treat by treat.
and ending with custom-made prosthetic beaks for ducks. It's quite the journey.
It really is. And the big takeaway for you, the listener, has to be the sheer diversity of the challenges animals face, right? And how the solutions have to be just as diverse, just as ingenious.
Yeah, it's not one size fits all. It requires incredible resources, technology, planning, and often really creative thinking.
This deep dive really proves that these large-scale efforts saving 1,000 animals, it is possible. But it takes constant adaptation.
And it highlights the power of collective action, the funding that enables all this complex work.
Yeah.
Each one of those 1,000 animals has a story behind it, often a really complex one.
And maybe one final thought, something that really stood out from the sources for me.
What?
It's how often the critical resource wasn't just, land or food. It was technology, sometimes unexpected technology.
Like the rhino collars detecting behavior, or the microchips for forensics.
Or that prosthetic beak, literally life-saving tech, things maybe not even originally designed for animals.
So, here's something to think about. Given how effective these tech solutions were, what current human technology, something maybe developed for, I don't know, construction or mapping or material science.
Yeah, something completely unrelated.
What could be the next big game changer for animal welfare? What tool designed for us could be repurposed to make the next leap in conservation possible?
It's about applying that human ingenuity across species lines, isn't it? Something to definitely mull over.
That was such an inspiring story. One that reminds us how words and actions can both change the world. Huge thanks to Ryan and Nikki for guiding us through this emotional journey, and to everyone out there fighting to protect the voiceless. If you enjoyed today's episode, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you can keep learning English through real stories every week. Remember, learning a language isn't just about grammar and words. It's about understanding people, emotions, and the world around us. I'm Alex, signing off from LoopIt Radio, where we help you speak English naturally, one story at a time. See you in the next episode.